And friends, I want to thank President Donald J. Trump.
There were primaries in 5 states, but the big ones that were watched the most closely were in Pennsylvania and North Carolina. A kind of Trump-backed Republican, Ted Budd, won the Republican Senate primary, and he will take on Sherry Beasley, the Democratic nominee. That will put a matchup between a Republican who is a sort of denier of the election versus a potentially history-making woman. But it's a very hard state for Democrats to win. I think they're hoping that Sherry Beasley will be able to really excite suburban voters, and also there's a large African-American vote in the state.
It is all hands on deck.
So there were 2 big statewide races in Pennsylvania, a governor's race and also a Senate race. In the governor's race, Democrats sort of cleared the field. They had, one candidate, Josh Shapiro, the attorney general of the state. And so of course he coasted to victory since he had no opponent. But on the Republican side, Doug Mastriano, the loudest voices against the 2020 election in Pennsylvania, urging the president to come there, talking frequently with the president's advisors in the sort of run up to January 6th. He was in DC at a Stop the Steal rally on January 6th, and he won on the Republican side.
That's how we do it. People like you and us rising up together, standing in a gap for our states and nations, not standing aside, not being bullied by the lies, of course, in the media.
The Republican strategists that I talked to are very worried about him because they're concerned that he's so extreme that he won't be able to win in November. And so there had been sort of last minute effort by some establishment Republicans to make sure that he did not win the nomination, but in fact he did.
The left, together with their friends in the traditional media, of course, are trying to paint us in a particular picture. And my campaign has no place for hate, bigotry, and intolerance. And that's the same that's right.
I mean, I think one of the things you definitely are beginning to see in these primaries is that sort of Trumpism is outrunning Trump the person. And so what I mean by that is there are candidates out there who are sounding and campaigning just like Donald Trump did. And Trump is not always endorsing them. He's sort of sometimes playing the role that, of what an establishment Republican kind of does, to like look down the road and say, well, actually, could that person win in a general election? Maybe we shouldn't be backing somebody who's saying these things. Certainly Mastriano is a great example. Trump decided just at the very end to get there, but also Kathy Barnett, who did not win in Pennsylvania. She very much was in the Trump vein of candidates. So in some cases, Trump has been sort of catching up to his own movement.
President Trump endorsed me last June. He said this. He said, Ted, I'm endorsing you because you never wavered on America First policies.
I mean, one of the things that is interesting across all of these Republican primaries, and it was really underscored last night, is you have, hardcore election deniers winning in statewide in 2 states. I mean, you look at North Carolina, where Ted Budd won. He was one of he's a member of the House of Representatives right now, and he is one of the 139 House members who voted to object to the election on January 6th. Mastriano, who was also a leading voice for sort of overturning the election in Pennsylvania. He was out there pushing hard for those 90,000 votes, and that's what Biden won by, to be disqualified. And he would be, if he wins, the governor of the state. Pennsylvania is perennially a swing state in the presidential elections. It's where elections are decided. So the idea of having a person, an elected official, who's the governor of the state, who has, very views that are well outside the established norm on elections is significant.